Hello guys, my name is Sangeeta Mehta and you're watching my channel, my English magazine. Today I explain to you common features of the Shakespearean histories. Shakespeare's writings would probably be described as based on historical events with a disclaimer that they were edited for dramatic purposes. The Shakespeare histories share a number of things in common. First, most are set in times of medieval English history. The Shakespeare histories dramatize the Hundred Years' War with France, giving us the Henry tetralogy, Richard II, 3, and King John, many of which feature the same characters at different ages. Second, in all his histories, Shakespeare provides social commentary, thought, his characters and plots. Really, the history plays say more about Shakespeare's own time than the medieval society in which they are set. For example, Shakespeare can King Henry V as an everyday hero to exploit the harrowing sense of patriotism in Ireland yet. For example, Shakespeare's Count King Henry V as an everyman hero to exploit the growing sense of patriotism in England, yet his depiction of this character is not necessarily historically accurate. There is not much evidence that Henry V had the rebellious youth that Shakespeare depicts, but the bard wrote him that way to make his desired commentary. Social class in Shakespeare's histories, despite seeming to focus on the nobility, Shakespeare's history plays often offer a view of society that cuts right across the class system. They present us with all kinds of characters from lowly beggars to members of the monarchy, and it is not uncommon for characters from both ends of the social strata to play scenes together. Most memorable is Henry V and Falstaff, who turns up in a number of the history plays. What are Shakespeare's history plays? Shakespeare wrote 10 histories. While these plays are distinct in subject matter, they are not in style. Unlike other plays, then can be categorized into genres. The histories are provide an equal measures of tragedy and comedy. The 10th play is classified as histories are as follows: Henry IV Part 1, Henry IV Part 2, Henry V, Henry VI Part 1, Henry VI Part 2, Henry VI Part 3, Henry VII, King John, Henry VIII, King John, Richard II, Richard III. Cite the article Tragedy, Comedy, History, a character analysis of Shakespeare's mistress quickly everything you need to know about Shakespeare's plays. So, in this way, I explained to you about the common features of the Shakespeare's history. Thank you, all of you. Now, I explain to some more about Shakespeare. How I explain to you Shakespeare quotes about love. Now, the word love appears 146 times in Shakespeare's collected works, including a handful of loves and loved. Add to that 59 instances of beloved and 133 uses of loving, and you have got yourself a whole lot of love. So, what does Shakespeare have to say about the subject? Here are 20 quotations from the Bard about love. Related, read, search, and download all of Shakespeare's plays and poems for free with the Flogger Shakespeare. What is love? What does Shakespeare have to say about love? Let's start with the basics. So, love is not love which alters when it alteration finds or bends with the remove to remove, or it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempest and is never shaken. Sonnet 116. In an interview on Shakespeare, Unlimited Flogger director Emerita Gail Caro Poster noted the sonnet 116 is a frequent choice for wedding toast. Barbara Mavett and Paul Veratine, editor of the Flogger, Shakespeare wrote of the famous sonnet. The poem here meditates on what he sees as the truest and strongest kind of love that between minds. He defines such a union as unliterable and eternal. So his love of Rosaline Calais, rainwater in love's labors lost with Yasmi, Lagizia, Chain Vile. So a lover's eyes will gaze, an eagle blind, a lover's ear will hear the lowest sound when the suspicious head of theft is stopped. Love's feeling is more soft and sensible. There are the tender horns of cuckold snails, and when love speaks, the voice of all the gods make heaven drowsy with the harmony. Love's Laborals Lost Act 4, Scene 3, lines 328 to 339. In Love Labors lost the king of Naveri and his three friends vow to spend 3 years cloistered from the world, studying, fasting, and seeing no woman. But as soon as they have signed the contract, the princess of France and her 3 pals show up to meet with the king. Of course, everyone immediately falls in love, and the 4 men